and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, introducing the Core 4 podcast. This is episode 2. Here with us is, as always, Jacob, Jeff, and LJ. We're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite comedy movies and top 5 NBA players in their positions.
Yes.
Who wants to start it
off? I'll start. I have my list right here.
So we're gonna do.
We're gonna do
comedies first.
We're gonna start with comedies. I like to start with my honorable mentions because as much as I wanted these to make the cut, they didn't. And again, these are my favorite comedies. Honorable mention: Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Honorable mention: Billy Madison. And another honorable mention: the original National Lampoon's Vacation.
Ooh, that was an odd one. I wasn't expecting that from you.
Number 5 on my list. One of my personal favorites. The Other Guys.
Number 5.
Okay.
5?
I'm a big Ben Stiller guy. Big Robert De Niro guy. Meet the Parents.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Number 3, Step Brothers.
Huge.
Great movie.
Number 2, one of my personal favorite actors ever. I don't think this is necessarily the second funniest movie, but I think it's actually a really good movie. It's one of those comedies that are kind of on the better side of actually movie making, and that's Happy Gilmore. And number one, my personal favorite, the legend of Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. Jacob, I very much enjoy that list. I think it complements mine in a little bit. So I guess I'll go. I was going to put an honorable mention, but I knew my top 5. Like my top 5 is really my top 5 that I could watch almost every day. So at number 5, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's
which one?
First one.
First one. Hangover Part 1. Yeah.
It went like this.
It went straight downhill. Number 4, Jacob knows this probably very well. Ted 2. I can watch it.
That is funny.
My mind.
I can watch it probably every day of my life.
Ted 2.
Ted 2, not 1, 2. Ted
1
2.
was pretty good.
Number 3, I'm going Dodgeball.
Oh, fantastic!
Dodgeball.
Dip, dodge, dive.
Watched that recently.
Duck.
Dip, dodge, duck, dive, dodge.
Fantastic.
Number 2, got The Other Guys, and number 1, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, Anchorman.
All right, Jeff, you want to go or I go?
I want to go. So I have an honorable mention. I don't know if this is a comedy. I think it's a comedy. I have Napoleon Dynamite as my honorable mention. I just love that movie.
Dynamite.
I just love that movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great
movie.
So at 5, I have The Hangover, the first one. At 4, I guess I'll put Step Brothers at 4. Yeah, Step Brothers at 4. The Other Guys at 3. I have Superbad. I have Superbad at 2. And then
Superbad. I forgot about that one.
Superbad's so funny. And then
what's his name? Fogel?
Yes. Fogel. Freaking McLovin.
McLovin.
And then
That's funny, man.
And then at 1, you guys, I'm sure you guys know this movie, Blades of Glory.
Oh,
Blades of Glory. One of my favorites. That's one of my favorites.
You're under the radar.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Okay.
That one is very. I feel like not a lot of people know about that movie, but they should. They really should.
It's funny, man.
If you're watching this and you've never seen any of these movies, go watch them. I'm pretty sure they're free.
Yeah, that's somewhere.
Okay. All right, my list. I just wanted to say, Jeff, that was an atrocious list, but back to the point. My list, number 5. I'm not gonna have honorable mentions because I'm gonna have just straight up 5. Number 5 would have to be The Dictator.
Oh my God.
I was thinking of putting one of them.
Number 4.
That's a great movie.
He is
Number 4. The Interview.
Nice.
Oh God.
I appreciate
Okay.
it.
God.
I mean,
I'd put number.
top
Jeff,
five?
stop. Jeff,
top
stop.
5.
Jeff, number 3. I'd put Talladega Nights. I got to. This is a very close one too, but I gotta give obviously Anchorman. I gotta give it to number 1. Number 2 is This Is the End. One of the funniest.
Oh my God, that's one. Amari, I love that movie. That movie is great.
That movie
Yeah.
is the ending that they go up to heaven and the Backstreet Boys.
That movie is just one of those movies you can't believe they actually got some of those guys to do the things
Everyone,
that
beginning-
they
they
did.
got
the beginning
everybody.
of Kevin
Who's
Hart.
it? Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is
Kevin
in
Hart.
it. Rihanna's in it. Yo,
Jonah
everyone's in that
Hill.
movie. Jonah Hill's in it, and
When
they.
Jonah
I love
Hill
how they
gets
play them.
possessed.
I love how they play them. They play themselves in the movie. They're like it's Kevin Hart.
It's a fantastic
Great.
movie. It really
It's
is.
funny. That's funny.
You know,
So that's my list, guys.
I'm glad that we can, as 3 of us, 3 people. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't remember. Oh no, Jacob had, Jeff had Blades of Glory, but all of us had those are our top favorite movies for.
Well, I
think just on
confession.
our
I have a
generation too. Like,
confession.
what is your confession?
I've never seen
it.
Anchorman. Yeah, I've
You've never seen
Anchorman.
Anchorman. I
Yeah,
knew it.
I know. Jacob sees this as an atrocity. I have to watch it.
It's,
You know,
it's
I'll buy it
horrible.
today. I'll buy it today.
You're
I'll
not-
buy it today.
You're not an American without seeing Anchorman.
I'll buy it today.
This is the thing that amazes me every time I watch it, and I've seen it an unhealthy amount of times. I think I know every line. It's that there are characters that are the 4th through 10th most important characters that are like they should be starring in the movie. That's how funny they are. Like all 4 of them are at their absolute peak comical abilities. Like it's absurd to me how funny Paul Rudd is in that movie. Like it's just insane.
Oh, what is great. Very underrated actor too.
Man.
Sex Panther power.
It works 60% of the time, every time.
Hey, where'd you get that gun? Where'd you get that gun? The future. What?
Yeah, the second one's good too. It wasn't as good.
I think, I'm sorry, you might disagree with me. The second one I think is funnier than the first one.
No way.
I don't think so.
I mean, Anchorman 1 is a better, I think, movie. Like overall, it's actually a good movie. Number 2 is kind of ridiculous, but it's funny. It's really funny. Kind
It's a
of
ridiculous funny. Kanye West
Yeah,
on top of the
you have
bill.
The fight in the second one, it's just insane what they got.
495. Yeah, you got a 495. Blow these episodes. Blow these episodes.
Yeah. All right. So that was our more relaxed topic of the day. I have a feeling this next one has the potential to get heated. And who better to bring in Jeff? Is he there? Is he in the room? Who's better to bring in than the James Davis?
Hey guys,
Davis.
how you doing,
What's up?
James? Going on?
You're
Hey,
going first today with your list. So whenever you're ready,
Where's James?
through
Hey,
center.
Mark.
Oh, it's James
What's
Davis.
up, comp?
Point guard, through center. What do you got?
Go ahead.
Can I
Go
do
ahead.
it
We're
backwards?
all ears. All ears.
You can
Yeah,
do
go
whatever
backwards.
order you want.
Yeah, whatever you want.
You can
So
go
I'm
3, 1, 5.
saying-
It's up to you.
I'm saying, all right. I'll do that just because you said that. No, I want to do 3, 2, 4, 5, 1. There you go.
Jesus
That's what we're
All
doing.
right, go ahead.
All right, at 3, small forward, the greatest small forward of all time. I think we all know that. Do I have to say it? I'm going to say it anyways. LeBron James, the king. We all know that. That's obvious. Number 2, I think that's also another obvious one. I think we have to go with Michael Jeffrey Jordan, as Skip Bayless likes to say. I mean, he's obviously the greatest shooting guard ever. All right. Now we go to the power forward position. And I think it gets closer, but I think it's also pretty obvious. Tim Duncan. And then we go to the 5 position, which is the center. And then I go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
All right. I guess it's time to get a real. I guess,
Wait. Wait, who's your point guard?
guard?
And then my point guard is the man, the myth, the legend himself. The man who owns the Los Angeles Dodgers, ladies and gentlemen, Irving
Magic Johnson,
Jesus.
the greatest point guard in the
Jesus
history
Christ.
All right,
I give you
of
that,
Basketball
James.
Association.
Incredible.
James, you got one. Hey, James, I gotta say something. It was a great list. You got 1 out of the 5 right, but you tried. Man. You got it. All right.
1 out of the
Wait, I
5,
think-
right?
Are you
You don't
out of your
you
mind?
don't think Michael Jordan's the greatest?
Okay, no. We're going to Amari next. We have to go to Amari next, please.
Yeah,
All right,
that
so-
was,
Amari,
that
cool
was
off.
weird.
We'll let Amari cool off a little bit. Amari, cool off a little bit.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
go
Someone
mine
else
really,
go, and then
Okay.
I'll go. Let me get a water.
I'll
Someone go, and then
I'll go really
Yeah, but wait.
because I think mine's.
Make sure that Jeffrey doesn't go because I want to hear his list too.
LJ, you go.
All right. Point guard. Don't agree with James. I gotta go Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. no.
Career averaging 24 points a game. Ridiculous shot. I
He's
just
a
think
great
he
player.
revolutionized the game. Shooting
No
guard,
argument there.
Michael Jordan. Small forward, LeBron James. Power forward, Karl Malone.
Wow.
You have to go Karl Malone. 27 points a game as a power forward. I think you have to go Karl Malone. Like, there's no way. I understand. No. Complete props to Tim Duncan. Like, he's amazing. He's the second best power forward. I think Karl Malone's 1. And for center, I gotta go best center of all time, most dominant player of all time, Shaquille O'Neal.
That's what James should have picked. That's why I started
Yeah.
laughing.
Career averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds. Ridiculous.
That's not true. It doesn't matter, James. It doesn't matter.
All right.
I didn't.
Who wants to go?
LJ said that.
All right, Jacob, you go. Jacob, you go.
Oh, LJ, you said that? I'm so sorry. James, I'm sorry.
I have some notes. And
Do your notes.
I've decided I'm going to read you guys' stats before I read names. I think the 2 and the 3, that's it. Jordan, LeBron, that's it. I'm not going to read you a name first. I'm going to read you stats first. 5 championships, 3 finals MVPs, 2 MVPs, 10-time first team, 8-time defensive team. And I'm going to tell you something. Unlike football, basketball, a coach can't make a player. Popovich did not make Tim Duncan the best power forward of all time. Tim Duncan made himself the best power forward of all time. And he's better than Karl Malone. I think that if Karl Malone had 1 or 2 rings, unfortunately he fell to the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. It's unfortunate, but it's reality.
Is that
He didn't-
the co-goat? He's the co-goat. But keep going.
I don't think I don't think so. I think Tim Duncan has it by this much. I think Karl Malone might have been a little more naturally gifted. But I just don't – I think maybe 1 ring would have done it, but I don't think 0 can overtake 5 here.
Both
That's
of
my
them
power
good players.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That
What
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
What does
Amari,
it
Doesn't
let him-
matter. Rings doesn't
let him
matter.
finish it. Let
Rings
him
doesn't
finish his
matter.
It doesn't matter.
What?
Let him.
It doesn't matter.
Before we keep going,
Let him
can I just
finish.
point something out?
Let him
Yeah,
finish.
Let him finish, and then we'll
Let
talk
him
about that
finish.
later.
All right, next. What should we do? Should we do point guard or center? What do you guys want to hear?
Well,
wanna
center,
hear
we
the
all
center.
know who it is, except for James' pick. I don't know what the hell he was thinking of.
No, I agree with James.
I love
Wow.
that. I love
That's
Amari, they
ridiculous.
don't understand.
Wow.
They don't understand the point of basketball. They
Rings.
don't.
6 MVPs, 19 All-Stars.
I think the point of basketball is to
2
win.
different eras,
Come
6
on.
defensive
Who-
players. Man, this is what I'm telling you. Sure,
So Shaq wasn't a winner?
10 years back,
Shaq was a winner.
Sorry.
Shaq is amazing.
I would
Exactly.
agree.
Shaq.
You know what? He played plumbers, whatever you guys like to call it. But he got to that set era when Magic, Jordan, Bird all started coming in, and he played well in that era too. Shaq could have been, if his career was a little more healthy, had a little more depth to it. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel. I think I agree. The most dominant player. That doesn't mean greatest at that.
We forgive you, Jacob. Don't worry about it.
All right. And point guard, I have the same list as James. A player who I think would have been the 3rd best player ever to walk the earth if he played a full career. In only 10 years, he won 5.
Yo, he's not even talking.
He won
Jesus.
3 finals MVPs. He won
Yo,
3
he's talking about him like he's dead.
and he's an all-star.
He
Every
should be.
Lord, help him, please.
he played. His career is so similar to LeBron James with 2 more rings. It's just a
So
fact.
similar. He's
He's
nowhere
not-
near him in points. He's nowhere near him in points.
Because he played 10 years.
Jacob,
It's not his
Jacob.
fault.
Cool. We're not
His
giving
biggest
sympathy
competition
awards out
is
here.
Larry
We're not
Bird.
giving him sympathy awards out here. We're not.
All right, come. You can't hold the
We're
fact that
talking
he
about-
got HIV and couldn't play against
We're
him. Like,
talking
that's
about-
not fair.
Okay, we're not talking about that right now. We're not. We're not talking about that. I'm not giving you an award just because you got HIV. I'm not.
No, that's not what we're doing. We're saying. I think Jacob's saying look, he would have been up there if he didn't get.
We're not doing
HIV.
would have. We're not doing who would have been the best player. We're not.
Who
Because I can
is?
put Greg Oden at center because he would have been the best center if he didn't suck. I could have said that too.
He won one more
But,
MVP.
but we're not talking about that.
He has one more MVP than Curry. 2 more rings with not as good of a team. Yes, they won 3. They won however many 3. What they win 3? They won 3, right? 2 or 3, whatever it is. All right.
Who-
They lost to
who-
LeBron.
Golden
Where
State?
was Curry at series? Getting locked up. Where
I
was
think
he?
I've heard enough.
I think you heard enough too. And I know what you are going to say. He changed the game. He changed the game. I don't care. That doesn't make him a better point guard. If anything, that makes him a shooting guard. Fine. Rank him against shooting guards. He's not better than Jordan. He's not
You don't
better
watch the NBA now? Do you watch the NBA
I
now?
don't
Do you
care
watch the
that they
NBA?
all shoot threes. Why does that make him a better player if he shoots a lot of threes? That doesn't mean anything. What does that mean? I don't care. Yeah, maybe I'd rather get a poster of him if I liked him, which I don't. But I don't. But once again, fine. Compare only the 10-year career. Say, okay, you can't say what ifs. In only the 10-year career, this is more than what I've seen Curry do.
That's true.
Lovely notes,
And
Jacob.
James didn't even mention the fact that we were talking about yesterday, the fact that he could play every position.
But you're basically penalizing. You're penalizing Steph Curry for playing longer than him.
That's not
He's
true.
playing
That's
longer
not
than him.
true.
I'm not penalizing
That's
him.
not
You are.
What is he better at
You
besides
are.
shooting? Also, what is he better
Sorry,
at besides shooting? What?
Right now,
Penalize him.
What?
right now at this point, Magic Johnson and Steph Curry have played the same amount of years. I think they might be 1 or 2 off. At this point, they have. Magic Johnson has more accolades than Steph Curry. Magic Johnson, in his rookie year, in Game 6, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goes out. What does he do? He starts at center. He scores 45 points. He gets 12
He was
rebounds
also playing
against
with
Daryl
Kareem
Dawkins.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got hurt that game. At the start,
He
at
had
the
him
start
the
of the
whole
game,
season.
he didn't start. He didn't start Game 6. What happens? He starts center. He gets 45 points and 12 rebounds in his rookie season out of his position. He doesn't play. Why does he do that?
What?
Why does he do that? Because he's an amazing all-around player.
Question, what is Steph better at besides shooting?
What was your question?
I hear crickets. Literally.
What
Wait,
is Steph
what?
No, I
Curry?
didn't hear. I genuinely
What
didn't
is
hear you.
Curry
What
better
is
at besides
Wardell?
shooting?
Better than Magic.
He is better than at shooting.
Yeah, besides that.
Honestly,
Dribbling. Better ball handler.
better ball handler.
Wait,
He's a
I
good-
don't
argue
what-
that.
Don't say maybe. Don't say maybe.
He's
'Cause he
not.
is.
I wouldn't say he's a good playmaker, but he's a good passer. He definitely
Who's a
can
good
pass.
passer?
Stephen Curry.
And what about
Oh,
Magic Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, Magic Johnson is definitely the better of the
Thank you.
two when it comes to playmaking. But
Defense?
it's not like Steph. Okay, but
There's something called defense.
Magic Johnson. I think they're
No
both
one
out of
really talks
position.
about it anymore.
I think they're both out of position.
James,
if
put
you
your
ask
cup
me.
down. There's nothing left.
No, there was a little bit left. I had to finish it. I'm sorry.
All right, Amari, let's go. Let's
I
go.
think they're both out of position. But
Let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously, as you guys may know, 'cause
I can't wait to hear this.
he's my favorite NBA player of all time. So my center would obviously go to Shaquille O'Neal. I would say was good.
Thank you.
I hope Jeff would have that as his best center.
Jeff
Thank
also
you, Jeff.
agrees.
Okay. Best power forward by far and away, because the way I look at it is 2 ways. Points, which you already know where I'm going with this. And if they had a one-on-one, who would beat the one person
It's
in their
not the way
position?
to look at it at all.
Yeah.
It is a way to look at it. It is a way to
No,
look
'cause
at
Not
that's
how you look at
the
who's
way
the
to
better
one-on-one.
player or who's the greater player.
That's-
That's not how you
it.
look at it.
Wait.
I'm sorry I have to cut you off, but that's ridiculous.
if you got two, for example, 2 point guards, you just started comparing Steph Curry and Magic Johnson. Clearly, if they had a one-on-one in their respective positions, who's going to win that one-on-one as a point guard? It's going to be Magic Johnson because Magic Johnson is more versatile in what he can do against Steph Curry. So obviously, you can tell. The way I look at it is, if Tim Duncan had a one-on-one right now with Karl Malone would destroy him in pieces. Karl Malone's bigger than him. Karl Malone's bigger than him by far and away. Karl Malone's bigger than him. Karl Malone has the second most NBA points in NBA history as a power forward. That's unheard of.
Duncan's defense.
What?
What about his defense? He has like 3 defensive player of the years.
But Jacob, what comes down more to the wire? What you do on defense or what you do on offense? What matters more?
Maybe defense in a lot of cases.
That's not true. It's not.
It's not true maybe in your one-on-one, but that's why it doesn't matter, because it matters when you win.
It does matter. Clearly, Karl Malone, in my opinion, is 10 times better than Tim Duncan, I think, in my opinion.
I agree.
Rings does not matter, because if you're talking about rings, then Jordan blew out LeBron years ago. So it doesn't really matter if you're going to talk about rings. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, now, better than him, but that's another.
So Bill Russell's the best center of all time. Bill Russell's the best center of all time then.
But it's not just that. You're acting like Tim Duncan couldn't play basketball. You're acting like
I'm saying if you compare him to Karl Malone's an overall better player.
I don't know.
You gotta realize Tim Duncan didn't have Michael Jordan and the Bulls in their prime.
He didn't.
Tim Duncan didn't have that.
Yeah, LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh.
Tim Duncan did have Kobe.
The Spurs had the Nets in the finals with Jason
Tim
Kidd.
Duncan
That
had
was
to
who they
be Kobe
played.
and Shaq. Tim Duncan had to be Kobe and Shaq to get to the finals.
We're talking about 5. We're not talking about 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. We're talking about 5.
When it comes to power forwards, that's my number 1. Okay, I've never heard of a power forward that has the second most highest score in NBA history. I've never heard of that before, and I'd give it to Karl Malone. Now, this is you got to look at it in my perspective. For point guard, the way I look at it, to name who's my best point guard, is what you're supposed to do as a point guard. The number 1 thing you're supposed to do, position-wise, is give assists to your other players.
But it's changed. It's changed now.
Amari,
it's not like that anymore.
Please make my day right now. Please make my day right now. Tell me who you're.
Obviously,
I'm worried about. He said John Stockton.
He's talking about passing.
No, I'm talking because that's what you were supposed. That's what the fundamentals of a point guard.
But that's not how it is anymore. That's not how it is anymore, though.
But this is what that's the way I look at it, though.
That's
what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Amari.
I'd say number 1, 17,000 assists. John Stockton is my number 1 point guard. I'd give it.
Wait.
Steph Curry would run circles around him.
It doesn't matter.
Murder him.
That does injure your point, though, about you saying that it has to do with who would win in one-on-one, because obviously he's losing to at least 20
He's losing to a lot of people.
Jeremy
A lot of
Lin
people.
over him.
We're talking. What did you just say?
No, I was joking. Go.
All right. No, really, you gotta make up your mind.
Who, me?
Yeah, is it about the one-on-ones, or is it about? What are we talking about here?
No, what I'm talking about. But you got to remember one thing. I compared 2 players that were in the same generation. I'm comparing Steph Curry to John Stockton, which is 25 to 30 years apart from each other. Now, are we going to talk about what you do as a point guard or how the times have changed the point guard? Because that's a big difference in a conversation. That's a big difference in a conversation. Are we talking about that now point guard of what LG brings up? What LG brings up? Wait. What LG brings up?
We have less than a minute because of the 30-minute max on the Zoom. It says less than a minute on the top left.
Really?
We went through 40 minutes already?
Jeff, go!
Joe, go, Jeff, go at your 5.
All right. We know 2 and 3, Jordan and LeBron.
Yes.
4, I have Tim Duncan. At the 5, I have Shaquille O'Neal. He's in my top 3 all time.
Let me see your point card. Say it, baby. Say it.
Jason Kidd.
Whoa!
Jason
You're
Kidd.
talking about me.
Listen.
Great way to,
Listen.
that's a great way to end it.
The
That's a
white
great way
bleeding
to end it.
alcoholic?
That's a great way to end
Come
it.
on.
I'm
You
Jason
talking
You gotta
about
listen.
me?
You gotta
the
listen to
best
me though.
Nets
What?
You gotta
coach
listen to
of
me
all
though.
time.
What?
Stephen Curry is an
What?
undersized shooting guard. He's an undersized shooting guard.
Oh my
Jason
God.
Kidd.
Jason.
Magic
Bald
Johnson
average point
is a
guard.
power
Jason.
forward.
Average bald point guard.
Time out. I agree. That's what I was gonna say before Jacob told me about the time. I agree with Jeffrey. Steph Curry is practically a shooting guard. I agree with him.
Shooting guard.
I agree with
That's
him
why he plays the
100%.
one.
I agree with him 100%.
May I mention he doesn't guard the one on the other team? Klay Thompson does.
Yes. And who's a better defender? Probably Magic Johnson, Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd is a great defender. I think he's a great playmaker.
Oh my God.
I think he's a great playmaker.
He's not better.
Fair
Wait, we're
point.
not contemplating that Magic Johnson isn't better than Jason Kidd.
Yeah, I don't yeah.
I think
Where's
Jason
James?
Kidd is
Where's
more of a
James?
point guard. versus Magic
We're not even
Johnson.
talking
Sorry.
about LeBron's more of a point guard than Jason Kidd was.
Whoa.
I don't know.
No,
Wait.
that
Zoom, and we ran out of time, and we lost Amari, but we're gonna wrap things up, and we're gonna see you on Wednesday after this. So Jeff had to do his list very fast, highlighted by a very surprising take on the point guard position. By
probably
taking,
most surprising.
I have to say, I don't think I've ever heard someone take Jason Kidd before. So Jeff, would you like to elaborate on this a little more?
Wait, Jacob, before we go on, can I ask Jeff something? Jeff, where do you rank him on your all-time list? Like, no matter position. Like, where is he
Jason Kidd?
on your all-time list? Yes.
Probably be in the 15s, 20s.
So you're telling
Probably-
me there's
probably
no
wouldn't be
point
that
guard
high.
who's top 20?
There's no point guards in my top 10.
There aren't any point guards in my top 10 either. But when it comes, so the only two that come to mind are Steve Nash and Jason Kidd. They're the only two actual prototypical point guards that come to mind that I would put as number one. And in a one-on-one, I'm taking Jason Kidd. I'm sorry.
Wait.
Taking Jason Kidd. Sorry.
Wait. So you think Steve Nash is better than Magic Johnson too?
No, I didn't say that. You guys don't get what I'm saying. A
No, we get what you're
prototypical
saying,
point
but
guard
he's
in
just
my
tall.
eyes.
No, we get what you're
I
saying.
think- I think Magic Johnson is a
But
power
Magic
forward.
Johnson
that
is
is
a
put at-
point guard.
Magic Johnson is a power forward
Jesus
that played the point guard
Christ.
position.
But he's still
Stephen
he's
Curry
still-
is a shooting guard that plays the point guard position. That's just my take.
Maybe, but this is the thing. What makes Curry a shooting guard is the fact that he shoots, not his height.
Right.
Height doesn't matter. Magic's just tall. He's a pass
Mag-
first.
Magic Johnson averaged like 11 assists a game in his career.
But he plays Larry Bird. Do I have to repeat
But
what
what
I
does
said?
does that mean?
Now that's a totally
Larry
different argument. What does
Do I
that
have
have
to,
to do
do I have to
with
repeat what I said? Larry Bird, at most, is an average NBA player in today's NBA.
You're
Sorry.
insane. He also had to play the bad boy Pistons and Michael Jordan when he first came into the league, and a little bit after
That was towards the end of his career, though. Come on.
That was towards the end of his career because
That
he
was
had
towards the end of
HIV.
his career.
That's the only reason why it was the end of his
Okay,
career.
no, but okay, fine. But you're like, I don't.
And don't
understand.
compare him to Michael Jordan ever, please.
I never said he was better than Michael Jordan. I said Michael Jordan's really good, and he won
They
games
shouldn't
against
be in
Michael
the
Jordan.
same conversation because Michael Jordan's better than everyone.
They're both top
Greatest
five
of all time.
players. They're both top five players.
Okay, but here's the
No, he's
thing.
not.
Wow.
That's a completely different argument. I don't understand. You're saying he's not a point guard, and you're saying he played against Larry Bird. So which one is your point about what makes him not better than Jason? I still don't understand.
If I had to start a team, if I had my pick of players, I would pick Jason Kidd as my point guard.
over,
But what does Larry Bird have to
Yes.
do with Magic Johnson not being better than Jason Kidd?
He's
No, because he's
just
trying to make the point that he's not that good.
not
but
that
if you
good.
put Jason
But
Kidd,
Larry Bird,
he wouldn't be better than Magic.
What?
You're complaining about the era that Magic played in versus
Yes.
Kidd. But if
Yes.
you put Kidd in Magic's era, Magic would still be better than him. He'd be better.
But then
Better in
that
every
ties,
sense than
that
him in
ties into
basketball.
my
You gotta
that
remember-
ties into my original point of prototype. Not that tall, mainly assists, good defense.
But that doesn't make sense
Like
to
a
say that he's
playmaker.
not
Exactly
he's
what
not the
Magic
best point
Johnson-
guard because of his height.
It's about what
Like,
you
that's
actually.
not fair.
It's what Amari said too. So then why does Amari get to say John Stockton?
What? I didn't hear the
honestly
question.
I didn't hear Amari say that, to tell you the truth.
Why does
Amari-
Amari get to say John Stockton? That was Amari's same reason as well.
I don't think John Stockton's better than Magic Johnson either.
I don't either.
But I think at the end of the day, John Stockton is arguably top 3. He's definitely in the top 5 point guards ever. I don't think anybody has Jason Kidd in their top 5 really. I think that's what's the surprising part.
I know a lot of people that
Don't get
have
me wrong.
Jason
Don't get
Kidd
me
in their
no.
top five.
Jason Kidd's very good, and he's arguably top 5. Like you can argue that, like you are right now. You can. He is top 5.
But my question is, what did he do besides play on the Nets, which I think is somewhere in here for you?
No,
So-
That's the only reason he's saying
no,
that. That's the
no,
only
it's
reason
not.
he's saying
Dude.
that.
No, it's not.
In his career,
Jason Kidd dominated at one point in his career. He was that guy. He was that guy.
I don't know that
Jason
he was
Kidd
ever
was that guy.
for the league. Magic Johnson was the best player in the league for some time.
Yeah, and he played against scrubs.
Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird.
Stop. Michael
What
Jordan.
human highlight
Michael
reel?
Jordan is
What are we
probably
saying
one of
here?
the only people from that era that would survive in today's NBA.
So why
Oh
wouldn't
my
why
God.
wouldn't Magic? No, tell me. Why
Kareem,
wouldn't Magic?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No. I'm
wouldn't
not saying
survive.
Magic wouldn't. But
I think
You know
Magic.
why we're talking about Magic? Why are we talking about Magic like he's the best point guard? Why are we talking about Magic like he's the best point guard all the time? He's not.
Because
if we're talking about best,
He's
if we're talking
not.
about best with people that play the point guard position, Stephen Curry, 100%.
Steph Curry's the
But
best
I
point guard of
don't
all
think
time.
they're point guards. I don't think they're point guards. I think Stephen Curry is an undersized shooting guard, and Magic
Okay.
Johnson is
At
a
the
power
end of the
forward.
day, here, I'll leave it like this. At the end of the day, let's take Jason Kidd out. He's a waste of space. Like he's not.
I
All
don't
right.
know what we're talking about.
At the end
breath.
of the day, all right, now we're down to Magic and Steph.
Okay.
Now, at the end of the day,
I'd
Magic
rather have
Johnson
Steph
was
Curry on my team.
no.
I would
Just
too.
let me get my point out real quick. Magic Johnson was unarguably a top 2 player in the league for most of his career, and for a lot of it, he was number 1. Can we
Wasn't
agree
it
on
just
that?
him and Bird? Yeah, it was just him
Okay.
and Bird, right?
But okay, Jesus Christ, can I speak?
Okay.
Jesus. Anyways, name a point where Steph Curry was undoubtedly the number 1 player in the NBA.
When they went 73-9, he was ridiculous.
You don't think he was right? You don't
I
think
think he might have
LeBron
one of
James
the
was better?
greatest seasons ever.
Steph Curry had
Okay.
one of the best seasons ever in NBA.
Like,
history.
Yeah, probably one of
You
the
don't
best
think
seasons
LeBron
ever.
James? You do not think LeBron James was better than Steph Curry that year? You would rather take Steph Curry that year than LeBron?
Steph Curry was insane that year.
Yeah.
By the way,
Curry
LeBron
made
came
the
back-
Warriors
I
win.
think
Yeah.
LeBron
came back from 3-1 that year with the worst
I
team.
gotta
Let's
have
just put that out
LeBron
there
in the
too.
understand that. I understand that. We're talking about that season, the regular season.
Who was
No,
better?
but we're not. But when you talk about a better basketball player, who's better?
The
at
biggest
basketball?
LeBron fan ever, like the biggest LeBron fan in this Zoom is telling you that I think Curry was better that year.
But you're also the biggest Curry fan in this room too.
No,
so
he's
that's a little
not.
unfair to say.
I
No,
don't
I'm
think.
not.
I don't
I
think
just
he's
know
the biggest
when-
Curry fan in this room.
Who is then? You, Jeff?
I
You're
think
the
I'm a
only
big Curry fan.
one. Jacob just. You're a big Curry fan, right, LJ?
I very much enjoy his game.
Okay, thank you. Point proven.
Yeah,
All right.
but I think he was undoubtedly one of the best top 3 players in the league for a long time, except for
Yes.
this year. He would have been. He would have been. He got hurt.
Stephen Curry.
You
No,
think
Stephen
he was top
Curry.
3 last year?
No,
I don't think he was top 3 last year.
Stephen Curry was
The year
the
before
best
that,
in the league.
I don't
I
think so
believe
either.
that was 2015, 2016. Right?
I agree.
That was the
think
only
when they-
year.
Murdered them
You could,
when they murdered the
I
Cavs.
think LeBron, Kawhi, and KD have been the best 3 players in the league for the last couple of years.
because of
I'm
KD.
sorry. I'm sorry. No, but I'm sorry. I never put Kawhi in there because he does not play as many games as he should. I understand he's that good, but when you're talking about regular season play, he's not in my top 3. He does not play one. If you're gonna miss 15, 20 games in the season, like what's going on here? You get paid to play basketball. You don't
I
get
agree
paid to
with that.
rest.
But I think that's
And
another
there's no reason.
another
There's no
argument.
reason a 36-year-old LeBron James, 35-year-old LeBron James should be playing 82 games, and Kawhi is playing 70.
Well, obviously, whatever he did seemed to work because he won the NBA Finals. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the name of the game is win. No matter how you do it, it's win. If that's what's going to get you to win,
guys, I think we all know the Raptors would have lost if.
well, yeah, okay, yes. If they had,
I think if Clay was there, they probably
Yeah,
would have
even
lost.
Clay, they were winning that game.
they were down 3-1 with Clay. Then Clay gets hurt game 5, right? Or was it game 4?
Yeah.
Game 5,
4,
right?
and then Curry played alone game 5.
Okay, yeah. Still, they were down 2-1. They were still down with Clay in the series.
Look, I think that this specific debate for the NBA is just something that could go so many more ways than like the actual rankings. Because I think when you get
Trust
to
me, we could ask somebody 20 years older than us, and they'll say something completely different. They'll say a totally different.
They'll probably
top
say
five.
Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, they'll say something
Yeah.
like that.
I think it definitely gets harder when you go by position because there's just such a like as the eras change, the positions have changed as well. Even center, the idea of a center shooting a basketball 20 years ago didn't even exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just,
True.
and now that goes into it. You know, KD being the ideal stretch 7-footer wouldn't have existed a long time ago. So a lot has changed. So I think it's a really good debate. And
I think
yeah,
we could definitely have that in another show.
yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Can we just give a big shout out to Kobe Bryant because we haven't mentioned him. Kobe, you're top 10, buddy, undoubtedly. But Michael
Yeah.
Jordan played ahead of you. We love you, Kobe.
Yeah,
Thanks. That's all I want to say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you. See
Bye,
you guys
guys.
on Wednesday for our next one.
Thank you for having me, Core 4.
Thank you for being
No
here.
problem. We'll have you back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys on the show really soon.
All right. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned
Bye.
for future podcasts.